Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is George Sandman, and we are now going to look at. I'm in Clarity. I've opened up Clarity here. I'm in Clarity Level 2, and now we're saying right, we're going to go and we're going to look at the Execute Guidance module. Okay, so when you finished your analysis, for example, effective senior leadership, and we are not top of the charts here in many of these key results. The system will help you understand, will provide guidance, right? Not advice, but guidance as to what you might do to increase strategic capacity in each of these key results. And it's easy. So I'm going to hide this little puppy here. All right, I'm going to click on the Execute Guidance tab. George, what the heck are we going to do? Execute Guidance is very, very powerful. So at the top here, we start with, you can select a dimension. So our data list. This allows you to slice and dice your analysis a number of different ways. I can slice it by dimension. I can slice it by growth driving objective. The 24 objectives plus our bonus strength of M&A market are here. I can slice it by rank. Now, rank, slicing by, sorting by rank, I can do it one of two ways. I can do that here. I can also do it globally down here on this line. What you might consider is a best practice is to create momentum by clearing up grabbing some low-hanging fruit. So what some of your colleagues do is they'll say, okay, I want to identify the ones and twos and move them up to threes. I want to look at all the threes and identify those that I can quickly, with low friction, move to a 4 to the best practice. Okay, 4 is a best practice. 1 is the worst. Okay. So imagine I'm just going to pull a growth driving objective. Let's do this one of two ways. I'm in dimension 1. I'm trying to get out of the gate. And I want to get some low-hanging fruit. So I've just gone to dimension 1. I'm going to say, give me everything that's a 2. Let's see if I can get some 2s to 3s. I click search, and here they are. Here are all of my dimension 1, second from the worst, not reallys, if you will. And let's read across the top here. We have our dimension, the objective, the OKR, the score for that objective. So here we see in people productive and loyal, they're all 40s. That is for the objective, right? Not the key result. And then we have the key result. It is stated again. And then the answer that the client gave. So in one line, I understand that effective senior leadership, OO, and written time-bound goals, KR, their answer is the shareholders express general intentions of goals, but there is no clear documentation. That is a rank 2. That is our not really, our second from the worst. We have when it was updated, right? So you know how fresh the data is. Contribution to value for the entire objective. And now you're asking yourself, what the heck are we going to do about that? First thing, we're going to look at guidance. I'm going to click on guidance here. It's very straightforward. Well, George, I'll close this down. If our key result, if what we're trying to get to is that the shareholders have written time-bound goals for the business, which are shared with the senior leadership team, I'm clicking on guidance. And you say, well, how the heck am I going to do that? Well, you're going to hold a meeting or workshop with the shareholders to establish business goals. These may be revenue, transferable value, or other. You're going to assign an attainment date for each goal, and you're going to share them with the senior leadership team. So it's a step-by-step You can copy this and put it into a plan, a project, an executive summary, wherever you want, right? Just copy it. And there you go. And paste it somewhere else. Now, you can also add notes. And we do not upload documents. You don't want us storing documents. You want to have a central place. You want to have your Google Drive or SharePoint be where the documents are, but you can put a link to that document, that SharePoint, in Notes so that you stay sane. The reason I say so you stay sane, so you don't have different versions of documents loaded all over Creation. You're using a data room, put a link to the data room if the data room allows it. Okay? So these are links. They're hyperlinks to get you to whatever the supporting documentation is. Got it. I'm going to close this out. Claire has this entire system at her fingertips. So if you are a subscriber in good standing, you can ask her for guidance. How am I going to solve objective this, key result that, the other? Manually or for your own, when you're thinking about this, you're at your desk, you're thinking about your client. I'm going to click reset. You're thinking about your client, and we scroll down. What do we have? People, productive, and loyal. Our key result here is that every employee and contractor understands the one number that defines success in their role, and that these metrics are documented. Great. How the heck am I going to fix that? It's a 2, so it's a low score. Click on guidance. Define and document key performance indicators, KPIs, for each employee and contractor role. Create and execute protocols that ensure every employee and contractor understands their KPIs. Claire can help with this as well. I would recommend small team meetings. People need input. You don't want them to suddenly show up and be told that they're measured by a number that they don't understand and or did not contribute to defining. So that is how we start. We start slicing and dicing this data and figuring out how we're going to move the business forward. Now let's just change the rank for all of these to our. Let's just use one. I click search. Now we only have one, and that's in culture. So that's low-hanging fruit. But by the way, this is critical. Your business has written guiding principles that support execution of the vision, mission, and strategy. And the answer is we don't. Good Lord. What is the guidance on this? Draft guiding principles that are in direct alignment with the company's vision, mission, and strategic goals. Now here, this is important. These principles should be clear, concise, and the most important clause, and serve as a roadmap for decision-making and behavior, which is why I said it in another orientation piece, and I'll say it again now, saying that honesty is a guiding principle is not helpful. If we're trying to create guidelines, decision-making guidelines, then telling people to just be honest, that's table Annie, right? You're going to want to have your guiding principles are hard to define. Well understood. Again, this is another area. It's well understood. And you can call on specialists like my friend John Foster. He excels at running these workshops. That is well understood at how to run a workshop to surface guiding principles and define them and to reach common agreement. Because once they're put in place, we're not going to change them monthly, right? We are essentially never going to change our guiding principles. And again, honesty, integrity, or our value as our people, those are not guiding principles. All right, I think I've, again, whipped the horse's eyes on that one enough. So a click reset, resets the whole system. You can sort, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you can sort 6 ways to Sunday, okay? This is a great place to go and make friends with the data, make friends with how your client views their business. So It looks like we haven't answered. Oh, hello. NA, we haven't answered the bonus. How do we change that? No problem. We go to clarity level 2 and we input the answers. So that is execute guidance. It is tremendously powerful. Claire, behind the scenes, can see all of this and can help you get your footing, determine what needs to be done and in what order. And then you hold your client accountable, get them to agree, hold them accountable, and forward the business goes. Okay, that was execute guidance. Next, we're going to look at the leadership module.